Now, let's look at how we can enhance the appearance of your list view data using simple HTML styling. Skedulo lets you control not only what data is shown, but also how it looks, right inside the column template. By applying some basic HTML, you can make important values stand out, improve readability, and create a more polished user experience. In this lesson, we'll cover how to bold text, change its color, and apply simple styling using inline CSS. Now, don't worry if you've not heard these terms before, I'm going to break these down step by step so that you're ready to style your own columns with ease. Now, let's look at a simple example. Suppose we want to make the contents of the cost column bold. We can wrap the field inside of a bold tag like this. When previewed, the value will now appear in bold text. If we wanted to change the color, for example, we can use a span element with a style attribute like this. This will display the cost value in red. You can use color names like red, blue, and green, or define colors using things like hex codes or RGB values. For example, here you can see that we're using a hex value, and here you can see that we're using an RGB value. But fundamentally, these all produce the same result, red text. Now let's make this a little bit more practical. Let's say your organization considers any cost that's more than 10% above the typical benchmark repair or replace cost as needing review. You might want to flag these values visually to make them stand out. Here's an example. Now let's break this down. We've set a benchmark value of $80. We can then calculate the threshold by multiplying by 1.1, which is 10% above the typical threshold. If the actual cost is higher than that, we output it in red and bold, otherwise we display it normally. This is a great way to draw attention to outliers without users having to scan each value manually. But one important tip, do try to keep things consistent. Avoid over-styling or using too many bright colors. The goal is to help your users to quickly interpret data, not to overwhelm them visually. And remember, AI tools can help you here too. If you're not familiar with HTML or CSS, you can always use an AI tool to help you generate or adjust styling rules and then paste them directly into your column template. And that's it for this lesson. With just a few simple HTML elements, you can transform your list views into something much more user-friendly and visually useful.